That's right, people. We have a brand new villain on our hands. So originally I had a different plan for the speed paint that was going to be happening today. It was going to be another versus the Dark Lord speed paint. It was going to be another one of my characters this time. And if you guys are liking those, don't worry about that not happening. They're still coming. But I just wanted to, I had this idea in my head for a new villain that I could create, and I wanted to kind of like get it down and on paper before I forgot about it, because my memory ain't that great. So I wanted to get it down, and like I just decided, why not do a speed paint on it while I'm while I'm sketching him. And so originally it was going to be a Dark Lord themed drawing, but I decided to go with this guy instead. And this guy being Paradox. He is a new villain that I've come up with, and it's actually a funny story how I came up with the name of him. We were in English class at school, or I was in my English class at school, and my English teacher was talking to us about the term paradox, like the term paradox in terms of like English type like description. So and I was like, wow, paradox, that's a cool word. It sounds like a evil villain. And then I just kind of like my mind started to wander, and as it always does in class. But and I came up with the concept of this guy. And originally I didn't really have a story for him. I just like thought Paradox was a cool name for a supervillain of some sort. But I was like, if I'm gonna make that a villain, I need to come up with a backstory of why he's a villain, because you can't really just have a villain that's just evil for the sake of being evil. They have to have some sort of motivation. So I tried to think of what a good sort of motivation would be, and I came upon the idea of, this is a guy that was in, if you know the backstory of Matchstick, my main like my super persona on this channel, and the main guy that you always see, he if you know his backstory, he was in an orphanage, and he grew up in an orphanage, and at the orphanage there was one kid that always bullied him and like called him a freak and stuff because of his superpowers and stuff, and the fact that Matchstick didn't really know how to control them, at least not that well. But obviously it was kind of like, I'm making fun of you, but I'm gonna keep my distance because you're way too strong for me. But it was like, so this kid just kind of like made fun of him and whatever, and he was just kind of a jerk all around. But everybody, nobody really liked him, but he kind of had like a posse of people like in the back that just kind of like backed him up and stuff, but they were kind of like, they didn't really like him either. But he went on to be like this super smart kid that was still a jerk to everybody, but he went on to go to like a super prestigious college of some sort, and proceeded to like become a computer engineer. And while he was working, or he was like an intern at a college, and kind of like was doing like work-based learning, I guess, for computer engineering. And some of the other interns that were there with him were kind of like, this guy's super annoying, we need to do something to like just get rid of him. And so they rigged a computer to kind of like overload, and they overloaded the computer, and while he was working on it, and it like zapped him, and he just kind of like, he was knocked out for a little while, and they thought they had killed him, but he woke up in the hospital, and they were in the hospital, and he just kind of like, he realized that it was their fault, and like he figured out that he had some sort of like digital based powers, and so he just took them out pretty quickly because he was just so angry. But so his powers are, I think first I should say, the reason he didn't decide to become a superhero is because he remembered when he realized that he had powers, that he had like super crazy powers now. He remembered Matchstick from the orphanage, and he was like, I'm not about to be some annoying goody two-shoes like him. And then he was like, maybe I should just go track him down and take him out because now I can. And so he just kind of became like a supervillain and kept trying to, like, his main goal is to track down Matchstick and take him out. But his powers are, obviously you can see like digital red digital dissolving mess going on coming from his hands, and that's kind of like, that pattern is just kind of replicated all across his armor and stuff. And that's kind of the main premise of his powers, is like he's able to phase, which means he can like basically turn himself not solid, so things go straight through him. He can like walk through walls, and if somebody's trying to throw a punch at him, he can just phase and they'll go straight through him and stuff. But so that's one of his powers. He can teleport, and when he teleports, there's kind of like a he's almost like a video game character, like a video game boss, because when he teleports, there's like a little delay where he's not fully there, but he's like zapping back and forth a little bit, and then after like half a second he's there fully. And then he can shoot red energy beams out of his hands, and the red energy beams, he can like dial back or dial up the power depending on what he wants to do with it. But he can blast it, and it'll he could make it powerful enough to shoot straight through a human, but most of the time he doesn't. But it leaves like a digitized looking burn mark on where it hit, and and not only that, but if it hits a living creature, like a animal of some sort, it actually like gives them, like, it causes the muscles in their body to immediately contract like super badly, which basically means it's gonna give you the worst cramp you've ever had in your entire life. And so yeah, it's pretty terrible. But it's like super OP, because everybody that's had a cramp before knows that like they're not fun at all. You're just kind of like laying on the ground whining like a baby, just like, make it stop. But yeah, so that's another one of his powers. And like I said, his main goal in life is to track down Matchstick and take him out. But I'll probably, once I finish the Dark Lord drawings, the Dark Lord base drawings, I'll probably do some stuff with him. And since he can teleport, Matchstick actually had to get him, or get like, he can't hit Paradox, because it's like, he already knows that you're coming at him, so he's just gonna either phase or teleport away. So he actually gets Phoenix's help, because Phoenix can teleport, and so she can kind of like chase him down while he's trying to teleport away. So pretty cool. And I think we're at the tail end of the time lapse here. So yeah, I really like this character, and I really like the design. Could do a little bit more with the helmet, but overall I'm very happy with it. So yeah, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's right over here. So this is my new villain, Paradox. I really hope you guys like the concept of this character. It was really fun to create, and I'll probably do a little bit more in terms of refining his character design. This is the second design that I've done. The first design looked like that, and the new design is what you saw in the speed paint right back there. But it's overall, I'm really happy with the character creation and how everything worked out, and I hope you guys are too. And yeah, so like I said, in the time lapse I'll probably do some stuff with him after I finish the Dark Lord speed paint series, I guess. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, then it would be much appreciated if you told me. And so with that, I think I'm out of here. So subscribe if you haven't, leave a like on the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.